Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Moose Run Farm. I'm Seth, and today we're going to do some aerating. We're going to go down to the field at the end of the road today. It's a new field for us that we're going to start haying next year, and it needs some soil improvements. We need to spread a lot of wood ash, and we're going to aerate it this fall as we've been doing with some of our other fields. The goal with the aerator is to just fracture the soil, which is pretty compacted. I don't think anyone's done this for some time. And hopefully that'll allow the wood ash to get down into the soil and start to affect the pH more than just the top inch or two. And it's kind of an alternative to plowing everything over, spreading wood ash, plowing or disking again, and then seeding. This field is a pretty steep hill, and so plowing is just out of the question, especially this time of year. I know all the soil would be down at the bottom of it by spring if we did anything like that. So we're going to try to use this aerator again and see how we do. Today's going to be a little different though. It's really exciting. The landowners, a couple brothers, belong to a really great family here in town, and they want to help. They have a newer Kubota 4-wheel drive. I think it's about 60 horse. More than capable of pulling this aerator, and they want to do some of the work. So we're going to take this down, do a couple passes, kind of make sure they're comfortable with it, and then they're going to do some of the aerating today. I drained a little bit of fluid out of this valve too. I like to check and make sure it's just not terribly gross. I just changed the transmission on the Kubota this year, and that was pretty expensive, so I like to make sure I'm not pumping a bunch of junk into there, but it actually looked pretty good, so I'm just going to leave this piston full and we'll use it as is. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a great group project, and hopefully we have a lot of fun. Let's come take a look at his Kubota here. MX6000. They're about 60 horse. Should do just fine. 4-wheel drive, ag tires. So I spoke with Bradley. He's going to follow us up. I'm going to do a loop, make sure everything looks good, and retract the wheels, and then we're going to hook it up to his Kubota, and he's going to take it from there. Unfortunately, it's about 38 degrees, and it just started to rain, which the soils are all dry enough. It's not going to affect what we're trying to do, but it doesn't make it very pleasant for him with no cab. So I tried to assure him that when he gets cold and tired, just give me a call, because I remember when I was flail mowing in Unity this spring and last fall, boy, similar weather, and you know, after 6-7 hours, you start getting really cold. What do you think?
Good.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
So is it just, do I lift it up?
No, so I'll leave it down.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you have hydraulic remotes, do
No.
you? All right. So I'll just leave it down, and then we'll just unhitch it here.
Okay.
And really, you don't have to, especially in a field like this where there's basically no rocks,
Yeah.
you don't have to lift it.
Okay.
There's some rocky outcroppings up here.
Yeah, right.
We'll just go around those.
Okay.
I think we'll do one more pass to the right of them,
Yeah.
and then we'll just start going to the left.
Okay.
And that's
Right.
just fine.
Okay.
And you'll feel it occasionally bump, like there'll be a rock under the surface that
Yeah.
the tines will hit, and it'll kind of bump over it,
Right.
and that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll detach it here, and you'll probably want to be in medium or low range, I would think. Yeah, you can start at 2,000 and see how it does. And so you'll kind of see where it's been. If you overlap a little, that's fine, like on an inside corner or something. If you don't quite meet up with where it went last time. As long as it's within a foot or so, that's fine too. It's a great implement. Like it's really nice to be able to borrow it. You know, I mean, it's worth about $8,000, and you know they charge 75 bucks a day.
Nope, kidding.
Yeah, so
That's great.
you know you can't beat that. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll do the slope. Like I turn left right up here. I'll do the slope and that as one piece. All right. Have fun. All right, well, I've never subcontracted out my farm work before, but I can't think of better people to get involved than these two guys, so it's gonna be good. I'll come back in an hour or two and make sure he's not a popsicle riding around on that thing. Have I said how excited I am to be haying up here? These fields are beautiful. So it's been snowing since we left poor Bradley there. That was almost 2 hours ago. So I'm gonna go check on him and see how he's doing, see if he's cold and wants to stop or if he wants to keep going a little while longer, and just see how he feels. Still smiling. Well, he says he's good for now. So we'll give him another half hour to an hour, he said. So I just came up here to look. He's done a great job. Looks like he's pretty much done with this top part. So we just got the steeper parts and down there something to do. So I know I show this in the springtime, but this just gives a good example of what the aerator does. It makes all these pockets in the soil and just fractures that surface and lets nutrients and water, and in this case the wood ash, to help raise the pH, just helps it get down in there, you know, so it's not just the surface. You ready for a hot cup of coffee?
Sorry about that.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna turn the heat on, put on the Christmas music, and settle in for doing this a few hours.
Snow showers are expected to continue this afternoon as northwest flow provides lift and instability. This high flow pattern should continue again tomorrow, with drier conditions expected Saturday. Low pressure moves in from Canada on Sunday, with wintry precipitation expected across interior New Hampshire and Maine.
Okay, so I think we're about to call it a night. I'm almost done with this field, and honestly it's starting to snow hard enough that it's kind of hard to see where we've been. It's kind of hard to see at night anyway, and this is just causing enough reflections that I just can't really see. And this hill's getting slippery as we go here, so I think we're gonna call it a night, and we will pick up where we left off in the morning. So that's it for aerating. We went over everything at least once, and I think it made a big difference. There was definitely some areas the soil was really compacted, so I think this will be a big help, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results next spring. So I'm going to take the aerator back to Cheshire County Ag Extension and pick up the wood ash spreader, bring that back, and we'll get started in on the wood ash. I think we have all the pieces to the puzzle set to go now. I got the spreader down here, and the loader, and the Kubota. I think we're ready to start spreading some wood ash. Boy, the seat is so squeaky on this. I apologize for that. Maybe I'll bring some WD-40 down tomorrow. So this spreader is pretty slick. It looks like it's practically brand new, and I'm really excited to get to use it. These things are worth, you know, somewhere between $12,000 and $20,000 new. So pretty unattainable price for a farm our size, especially when you only use them a couple times a year at best. But renting it from the Cheshire County Ag Extension is a huge blessing. It's great. So I went through and greased everything. There's quite a few grease fittings on these. The shaft kind of comes through at an odd angle into these gearboxes in the back. In fact, you can see it come through over here. That's the actual PTO drive shaft. Goes through the box at an angle like that. But it's greased up and good to go. So I'm going to start at 5. I think that was about 3 tons per acre in 4th gear low range. We'll just start there and we'll see how it's going. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's now Saturday. So it's 2 days since we started all this. And I've just been bouncing around, doing all kinds of different things. I had some commitments this morning, Bible study, and then helping a friend with something. Long story short, I'm starting to feel like I rented equipment, but haven't been using it much. But we're gonna get this done today. I'm determined, and we're gonna make it happen. So we got 2 loads in last night before it got dark. It's about 1 o'clock now, so we have 4 hours before it's dark. And worst case scenario, I'll get up really early tomorrow morning and get it done. It's supposed to rain tonight, about a ½ inch, but I don't think that'll affect us any if we don't get it all out. But I'm gonna try really hard to get it all out. A couple things I've learned with the spreader: it's really nice. Beautiful, runs super smooth and quiet. It is heavy, and the ground there's some icy spots. It's getting colder. It snowed last night, so we're gonna have to be really careful and make sure we're not going down hills fully loaded or side hills. starting to do this hillside when I'm pretty close to empty. I think that's how you know you got the good stuff. This is load number 8 today, and I'd say we're about half through that pile. That steaming ash pile is kind of weird. It almost looks like it's volcanic ash or something. It makes perfect sense though if it came out the bottom of a furnace and it sat in a pile. I mean, I'd imagine it would hold this heat for even up to a month, I would think. This is the last load, and I'm just using Google Earth to look and see where the milkweed was the thickest. We've been, there's some milkweed up here, and I know the struggle's gonna be real getting rid of that without herbicide, so I'm just trying to encourage growth of the clover and other species, and I have a feeling there's going to be some hand weeding in our future. Hate to say those words, but I think that is the case. But I'm just hitting where the milkweed is and making sure I get it extra good. And this is the last load, so we're done. Well, that was a little bit of saddle time there. It's a beautiful night though. I'll take you outside and I hope you can see that. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, thanks for following along. Thanks for liking Moose Run Farm. Thanks for subscribing and sharing with your friends. It does help us to grow the channel. I'm really thankful and excited. I'm glad we were able to get that wood ash out and spread before winter. That was a goal. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but it did. We pulled it off. So I can't wait to see the clover grow and see what positive effects that has on that field. I think it's going to make a big difference. So really excited about that. Thanks for coming along. And if you live here in town, sorry about the noise late at night tonight, but thanks for understanding. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.